Okay. All right. Hey, my dear. I think it's the storm. We got a lot of thunder and lightning, so it'll probably be coming your way, but I think it's the storm. So, look like it's just me and you. Just me and you. We got 5 people. If y'all back and ready to go, we gonna get ready to go. So I'm gonna say, let me go to my greetings and all that good stuff. For all of you that are in the bushes and in the trees and on the beach and in the sand, thank you for coming. We got a bad, more or less, it's like an electrical storm. It's thundering and lightning. We don't have a whole lot of rain, but it's doing a whole lot of rumbling in the sky. So I'm going to imagine that that's what happened. It took away the internet. Hold on 1 minute. All righty then. I'm back. Again, I don't know for how long because we got this thunder and lightning going on. So it may last a minute, it may last longer. If we get knocked off again, I'm not coming back. But we're here now, so let's just, I won't play all the songs, but let's just start like we start. And I want to say greetings, Madria. We're going to welcome everybody in to the Tiger's Den. Welcome to my world. Come on in and make yourselves at home. Welcome to my life. I know everything's gonna be all right. Welcome to my world. Oh, won't you come on in? Welcome to my life. It's known as the Tiger's Den. Greetings to all of my subscribers. I want to thank you for being with me for as long as you have, and the new subscribers that's coming on in. We want to say greetings and thank you for your time. This is from Toothless and the moderators. Welcome to the Tiger's Den. Oh, Rizzo, don't you worry about it, baby. Don't you worry about a thing. Greetings, Izetta. And Rizzo, the next time you type in here, which you're probably not going to get a next time, you should speak to the host first and then ask your dumb question. That's how it's customarily done. But Maria got rid of you. Y'all, we're not going through any of that craziness. We're on a whole different level. Always have been, always will be. 2 people or 3, 11 or a million. We're going to remain steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in what Cheryl can do. Because what I can do is be me. And that's who I'm going to be, me at all times. One moment, everybody. Hey, Asatar. You going up the mountains, and honey, we got these thunders and lightnings and all that good stuff. I mean, it's going down in Dallas, Texas today. But you know what, y'all? We don't even have a lot of rain. That's what's so funny about it. Yeah, I got my music turned down. I was just trying to see if I had my music turned down. Well, before the rain interrupted us, or I should say the lightning and the thunder and all that other good stuff, and it's still rumbling pretty good. That's the kind of stuff I go to sleep to. So I hope I don't fall asleep while I'm talking to y'all. Because it sounds good. I just don't hear the rain sound. But the thunder that's, rumbling in the sky sound like we at the bowling alley and somebody's really hitting some strikes. That's what it sounds like. But again, we were about to talk about, and Asatar, be careful in those mountains. I know you drive them all the time, but you know how that go. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Thank y'all for returning. I didn't know what was going on, and I don't mess with the computer and the modem and all that stuff because I don't know about all of that. But that's something Phyllis normally does. But she walked me through it, and so I went and did what it was asking to do. Now, I don't know how strong it is. We supposed to have the best internet that they have, paying the highest price, I know. But be that as it may, it is man-made. And so anything that's man-made is subject to have a malfunction. And ain't nothing wrong with a malfunction every now and then. A lot of times we don't know the reason, but it is written that all things work together for our good. No matter how we see it in the moment that it's happening to us, and it certainly don't always feel good, but it works out for our good. And so on that note, I'm just going to keep it pushing. I always say it's the ancestors keeping me from something or taking me to something greater. So, in the moment that you're going through, whatever it is you're going through, and it seems like it's interrupting your flow, it makes you feel very strange. But one thing that I do know is we make plans, but we don't determine the outcome of whatever we plan. So it's good to plan because you never know. And then you got to have a plan A, a B, and C. Well, on this note, with me, if this YouTube goes off again, I'm not coming back because I'm not going to do it on my phone. You know how you still have data? It messes with the Wi-Fi with the storm and stuff, and these different satellites and things of that nature. But if it goes off again, and I mean knock me off like it did a moment ago, we're gonna call it a beautiful evening, and we'll come back hopefully Wednesday, and it won't be doing all of this. But as for right now, I'm gonna keep on pushing, just like we didn't have that interruption. And I was right at the stage, and I'm not gonna play all the songs over. I play them some, throughout. I had to close everything up, so I got to pull my documents back up because I had to close everything out that I was working with. Okay, I just need you to open up the file. That's all I need you to do. You don't even want to open up. I told my to. I had the quick ball. Okay, let's hide the ball. Okay, let's do this. Let's see if that make a difference. Okay, here it is. Here's my document. Let's see if it open up. Child, I'm telling you, you can make all the plans in the world and stuff still don't have to go the way you planned it. Okay, there you go. I got it now. As I stated, I rely heavily on the opinion and the ideas of, Asatar, Maria, So Alicia, Ryan, and of course, everybody knows how I do things. But I greatly appreciate y'all for contributing, and I greatly appreciate 11 people for showing back up. And so, all I would ask is that you continue to do what you're doing, and you're doing a beautiful job. Hit the like button, and let's try to delve off into this conversation. Because what we were about to do is talk about the Alabama band director who was tased after a football game, and says no educator should ever have to experience that. And I agree 100%. And I really don't particularly like the headlines, because they're saying like he purposely defied the police. But this man wasn't committing a crime, he was doing his job. And in his interview, what he explained was that the band directors get together before, the teams play. And they call this fifth quarter because, as we know, I know this much, football has 4 quarters. But the fifth quarter, of course, is why most of us go to the game. It's the band. And so what they had done was, because they were, hi, Lovey, good to see you. Because they had been rival teams, you know how the rivals are, whatever your high school was and the rivals that you had, and you know how that feud go. So because they were rival teams, they had already chose that they were going to do 3 songs each, at the end of the game. And that's normally the way they do it. But again, I asked what's happening all throughout America. We know what's pretty much happening in our community or what's not happening, but it seems to be happening to all manner of people, no matter their status. One thing that they have in common is being Asiatic. And I believe in my research, hegemony is the issue. And that's actually one group ruling over another. And it's really based in status and class. But they've trained us with the animal husbandry training, and this is one woman's opinion. This is not anything that you have to take my word for it. I suggest you do your own research, and then you believe what you come to know is true. And it is status. And so they give us race because there's only one race, and that's the human race. But they give us race because there's something we can visibly see. And we're visual people. And so, a lot of things, if we can't see it, then, it ain't true or it didn't happen. Now, a lot of people say they believe in the Sun Book. We call it the Bible. But you go to Hebrews and it tells you that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So it's really amazing to me how we have all this faith and believe in something that we know nothing about, and things that's happening every day to us as a people. We can't believe it unless we see it. It's kind of like the law of contract. And because most contracts are written in four corners, if it's not written, it didn't happen. And therefore, you don't have the document. Now, we do know that there's a contract that you can have. They used to call it a gentleman's contract because you were held to your word. So many people, you don't know their word today because their word is her word or his word or, all over the thing. You just don't know. And people are not really transparent. Transparency is just the best way to live, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. But to go back as I started a moment ago, this thing in Alabama, it seems to be catching because, thank you, Izetta, because it's not the riverfront incident this time. We're at a high school football game. Tensions are flaring, but they're flaring for their team. Cheerleaders on the field cheering. 145 band membership. Some high schools, especially in our area, don't have a band that huge, but they have a 145 person band who had to stand there in the dark and see their band director, their leader, tased like a wild animal or a hardened criminal. And the saddest part about it is, and that's why I want to go back, and that's where I was headed. And I don't know if y'all can hear that thunder and lightning, but it's still thundering and lightning like nobody's business. I want to start out with the Constitutional Rights Foundation. That's where we were. Glad to see you back, Crystal. It is, and as I was telling y'all, I really learned and value the opinion of Asatar and Maria, and so Alicia and Ryan, because we, talk periodically, and they, critique me, and they, don't ever too much find nothing wrong with me, but they know I'm a little throwed, and they just respect me and love me anyway. But we come up with ideas because we want to stay close to why I'm here as possible. And I'm really open to ideas. Everybody knows, well, everybody that knows me really know how I operate. And I do operate in love and truth, in justice, in peace, and in freedom. Those are the things that I really operate and I live and have my being. It's written, for as much that lie within you, you do the best you can to keep the peace. And I'm paraphrasing. And so that's what I do. I try to do my best to keep the peace with all men, because we're all suffering from something today, no matter what it is. It may not be your health. It may not be your emotions. It could be your finance. It may not even be your finance. It could be somebody you love who's going through an issue. and you can't help them out of it. Because no matter how bad we want to help someone through an issue, until they realize the you factor, then we're not going to be able to reach them. So we do the best we can by loving them in spite of. Sometimes we have to get out of their way and allow them to, what they call, hit their bottom, go as low as they can go before they can see their way back up. And if we love them like we say we do, we'll be available to do what we can. And you set the tone for what you're willing to do for people. You don't allow them to set the tone for you, or you'll forever be entrapped in a relationship that's one sided. But relate is one coming with the other. So we have to have both of us actively involved in a friendship, a courtship, a kinship, whatever the ship. It must be two people involved, or you only have a ship that's sinking fast. And if you don't jump ship, you'll go down with the ship. So when you start learning these things, and more things come to you as you live, the old folks used to say, and now I'm the old folks, so now I say, just keep living, baby, keep living. And if you haven't seen it or heard it where you are at your age and stage today, just keep living. And you will see and hear some things that you never thought you would see or hear. With that being said, with the constitutional website, and as this says, it's always good to share where I got it from so that you guys can truly know if you want to go, and look for yourselves. And so I'm going to share it with you guys. And what I did, because it was thundering and making all of those noises, I decided to just copy it over on a Word document. But I want to share it with you all. And please feel free to make comments, because that's what I love about the Tiger's Den. We are engaging individuals, and we may not have all the solutions, but we do have ideas on how some things can be done different. But what I'm trying to ask the question is, really, have anything changed as far as how we're treated as a people in general? Not literal, but in general. And I want to go and share this document. And okay, it looked like it took over my whole page. And this is the Constitutional Rights Foundation mission statement. Constitutional Rights Foundation inspires lifelong civic engagement through interactive programs and resources for teachers and youth, because our democracy depends on informed participation by all. Their mission is to educate, engage, and empower. And this is their website if you want to go and peruse the website. And so I went throughout different places of the website. Let me just take this down because I have it side by side, but you guys can't really see it. So I'm going to move this document over so that when I have it up, I can just scroll down through the document. And let me scroll down. We want to start here. And I'm going to bring it back up now. Okay. The Southern Black Codes of 1865 to 1866. The Freedmen's Bureau also helped the former slaves in the workplace. It tried to make sure that the former slaves received fair wages and freely chose their employers. The Bureau created special courts to settle disputes between black workers and their white employers. It could also intervene in other cases that threatened the rights of freedom. White Southerners resented being ruled by Union military governors and Freedmen's Bureau officials, They sought to restore self rule. During the summer and fall of 1865, most of the old Confederate states had constitutional conventions. President Johnson's Reconstruction Plan permitted only white persons to vote for convention delegates or to participate in the framing of the new state governments. Not surprisingly, none of the state conventions considered extending the right to vote to the freedmen. South Carolina's provisional governor declared at his state constitutional convention that this is a white man's government. By the end of the year, most of the South had held elections under a new state constitutions. Often, ex-Confederate leaders won elections for state government offices and for U.S. Congress. The newly formed state legislatures quickly authorized many needed public projects and the taxes to pay for them. Among these projects was the creation for the first time in the South of free public education, but the public schools excluded black children. The state legislature also began to pass laws limiting the freedom of the former slaves. These laws mirrored those of colonial times, which placed severe restrictions on both slaves and emancipated blacks. Neither of these groups could vote, serve on juries, travel freely, or work in occupations of their choice. Even their marriages were outside the law. And so when you look at these rules and they said that we are free, we live under the dispensation of grace, it gives me pause. And it just asks me, how can this be? Now, this is 1865 through 1866. But it really feels like 2023, in my opinion. The white legislators say little reason not to continue the tradition of unequal treatment of black persons. An editorial in the Macon, Georgia Daily Telegraph reflected the widely held opinion of the white South at this time. There is such a racial difference in the mental and moral nature of the white and black race that it would be impossible to secure order in a mixed community by the same law. And who determines that but an individual? And the determination is made without consideration, without conversation. That's why it's very important to have conversations. You can't resolve problems if you don't ask questions and offer solutions for the answers. And that's no matter what you're dealing with. In order to resolve a problem, you gotta be able to talk about it. And you gotta acknowledge that the problem exists. Then you gotta have a timeline of when the problem began and how did it. Okay? White Southerners also feared that if freedmen did not work for white landowners, the agriculture economy of the South would collapse. During the last months of 1865, a rumor spread among freedmen. The federal government was going to grant 40 acres and a mule for every ex-slave family on Christmas Day. Although the federal government had confiscated some Confederate lands and given them to freed slaves, it never planned to do this on a massive scale. Nonetheless, expecting their own plots of land, blacks in large numbers refused to sign work contracts with white landowners for the new year. At the same time, Southern whites passed around their own rumors that blacks would rise in rebellion when the free land failed to appear on Christmas Day. And that's one of the disadvantages that we have, and we still have that today, even amongst each other, is someone is always projecting what their thoughts are and what their feelings are on everyday people. All these economic worries, prejudices and fears helped produce the first black codes of 1865. These codes consisted of special laws that applied only to black persons. The first black code enacted by Mississippi proved harsh and vindictive. South Carolina followed with a code only slightly less harsh but more comprehensive in regulating the lives of persons of color. And that's why we got to understand why some things are so very important, because we have laws inside of laws that we're unaware of. And reading is fundamental. And that's why I always encourage you, don't take my word for anything. By all means, please just start researching. I used to didn't even like history because I didn't like the story that I'm reading about now that came with it. I didn't have a grasp on it. But once you start researching history and go outside of the boundaries of the United States, and then you realize that history and law works together, and you need to study them both so that you can understand conceptually what's going on. We have been taught, and we live out every day to react in our emotions. We rarely, and I say we rarely, so that means it's not all of nothing, but we rarely actually sit down and have a conversation, an adult conversation as adults. And I know that I'm guilty of that wholeheartedly. I used to think I was this excellent communicator. Yeah, and I can speak well, but communicating, speaking is one part. The other part is listening and hearing what is being said and processing what is being said, not listening so that you can rebut what is being said, um, or even agree. First, you need to know what's being said. That's a proper dialogue. And sometimes I have an issue with that. And one thing that I learned more than anything is to know yourself. When you know yourself, you can never be lost when you know who you are. And the only way you do that is spend time with yourself, study yourself, write about yourself. Jot down when different things tick you off or make you smile, uh, how you feel when you eat certain things, or any number of things, your blood pressure, you know, all of those things are important. They really are. It helps makes up who you are as an individual. But getting back to the South Carolina Black Codes, and this is very important because of what we're seeing happening throughout different states, throughout the United States, and of course, globally around the world. The South Carolina Black Codes. South Carolina Black Codes applied only to persons of color, defined as including anyone with more than one-eighth Negro blood. Its major features include the following. So they come up with these numbers. How they come up with 1/8, 1/5, 3/5, 2/10? I mean, who comes up with these numbers? Never cease to amaze me. But the numbers are there nonetheless. Okay. One, civil rights. Not human rights that's given to all of us unalienable at birth by the Creator, but we have civil rights. Now, the Southern Black Codes defines the rights of freedmen. They mainly restricted their rights, but the codes did grant black persons a few more civil rights than they possessed before the Civil War. South Carolina's code declared that persons of color now have the right to acquire, own, and dispose of property, to make contracts, to enjoy the fruits of their labor, to sue and be sued, and to receive protection under the law in their persons and property. That would be the 14th Amendment we'll come to know as we go a little further. Also, for the first time, the law recognized the marriages of Black persons and the legitimacy of their children. So now we have to be recognized by the state. Whatever happened to it's ordained and everything is what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. There was a point in time when our marriages didn't even matter, nor the legitimacy of our children. So whether we were married or not, it was not recognized by the majority. So it kind of lets you know something about this big to do thing about marriage. When you learn it's about matrimony and it's about covenant, which is a relationship of commitment, then you kind of look at it a different way. And then we have an example of commitment and covenant in the Old Testament. If you follow the friendship of David and Jonathan, you can kind of see how that works as far as a friendship. Now, some people take that to a whole different level. I'm not going there today. I'm just going to keep it moving. But it's a covenant one makes and a commitment that you make to another. Also, okay, I just read that. The legitimacy of their children. But the law went on to state that marriage between a white person and a person of color shall be illegal and void. So just think of the people who've been married for, many years. But now remember, this is 1865. But look at the people that's been married many years under that cloud, and they had to keep it secret, yet they had children, so the secret was out. Labor contracts. The South Carolina Code included a contract form for Black servants who agreed to work for white masters. The form required that the wages and the term of service be in writing. The contract had to be witnessed and then approved by a judge. Other provisions of the code listed the rights and obligations of the servant and master. Black servants had to reside on the employer's property, remain quiet and orderly, work from sunup to sunset, except on Sundays, and not leave the premises or receive visitors without the master's permission. Master could moderately whip servants under 18 to discipline them. Whipping older servants required a judge's order. And then they took discipline away from us and say that we're barbaric to discipline our children. Okay. We practice what we see, not what we hear. Time lost due to illness would be deducted from the servant's wages. Servants who quit before the end date of their labor contract forfeited their wages and could be arrested and returned to their masters by a judge's order. Now remember, they're supposed to be free. So how do they get to be returned back to their masters? Who are the masters? This thing I'm talking about here is very important because it's germane to the story that we're going to talk about and the treatment of how we're treated, no matter the color of the officers that accost us. So that's why I'm having this conversation. And I can't see what you guys are writing, but I hope that you all are engaging in the conversation as well. I can't tell if the chat is moving or not, but I hope you guys are engaging in the conversation. On the other hand, the law protected Black servants from being forced to do unreasonable tasks. Vagrancy. This vagrancy is going to be very important because that's the second story we're going to cover, where these people were at a restaurant and spent over $600 at this restaurant and they were asked to leave. And they all were professional, six-digit individuals. The common denominator that they were, I call Asiatic, they call themselves Black. All Southern Black codes relied on vagrancy laws to pressure freedmen to sign labor contracts. South Carolina's code did not limit these laws to unemployed persons, but included all others such as peddlers and gamblers. The code provided that vagrants could be arrested and imprisoned at hard labor, but the county sheriff could hire out Black vagrants to a white employer to work off their punishment. The courts customarily waive such punishment for white vagrants, allowing them to take an oath of poverty instead. So we can see the disparity in treatment. And I would ask you all, do y'all see any difference in the disparity in treatment? Apprenticeship. Southern black codes provided another source of labor for white employers. Black orphans and the children of vagrants or other destitute parents, the South Carolina Code authorized courts to apprentice such black children, even against their will, to an employer until age 21 for males and 18 for females. Masters had the right to inflict moderate punishment on their apprentices and to recapture runaways. But the code also required masters to provide food and clothing to their apprentices, teach them a trade, and send them to school. Yeah, so Alicia, I agree. It's the same today. I don't really see much different. I mean, we can say it is, and no, we don't see anybody getting whipped and ran down. But when your mind is imprisoned, what's the difference? And you only get to go as high as someone allows you to go. You don't determine that. Someone is determining it for you. What you have to have is the desire and the will to go and put in whatever the work is required. And then you're at the mercy of whomever give you an opportunity. It's just like looking for a job. Doesn't matter your skill set and how great you are. Oftentimes when you look like us, then they can't manage you, or they don't know how to communicate with you. They don't know what to do and what to, I mean, how is it that you know this stuff, but you had the same opportunity and you just applied yourself, and now you're willing to, ready for the world, but it's all predicated on somebody else's decision making. Courts, crimes, and punishments. South Carolina's Black Code established a racially separate court system for all civil and criminal cases that involved a black plaintiff or defendant. It allowed black witnesses to testify in court, but only in cases affecting the person or property of a person of color. Crimes that whites believed freedmen might commit, such as rebellion, arson, burglary, and assaulting a white woman, carried harsh penalties. Most of these crimes carried the death penalty for blacks, but not for whites. Punishments for minor offenses committed by blacks could result in hiring out or whipping. Penalties rarely imposed on white lawbreakers. I don't see too much different today in 2023. Maria said, it's very sad. I can see part of y'all's response. And it's lightning up a boondocks. Okay. All right. All hell. I don't want no lightning to come through and hit me. Other restrictions. South Carolina's code reflected the white obsession with controlling the former slaves. It banned black people from possessing most firearms, making or selling liquor, and coming into the state without first posting a bond for good behavior. So we had to post a bond to be able to go into a state to say that we were going to act good. And if we were deemed as not acting good, then guess what? You lose that money. The code made it illegal for them to sell any farm products without written permission from their white employer, supposedly to guard against stealing. Do that make sense? Also, blacks could not practice any occupation except farmer or servant under contract without getting an annual license from a judge. And that's why when I sing our beautiful national anthem, and they say, oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. So I say, and the land of the fee, because we got to pay a fee for everything. and the home of the slave. I don't see any different. And this sensitivity, this is where a part of that article that I got this, and it's telling us about equal protections under the laws, which is the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868, attempted to prevent discriminatory state laws such as those that made up much of Southern black codes of 1865-66. Section 1 of the 14th Amendment reads, in part, all persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections under the laws. In this activity, students will compare the requirements in Section 1 of the 14th Amendment with the laws included in the South Carolina Black Codes of 1855. So, as you can see, that's a program. And they have, like I said, I gave the website. They have, this is for teaching for students and for teachers and for anybody who's seeking knowledge. So, sometimes when you don't have anything to do, if you jot down that website, and I'll show it again, then just go check it out if you're interested in history. And as you start researching, you know when you get further back, you'll have to leave America and hit the globe, because history is global. It didn't just start here. Okay, and it's telling them to form 6 groups to evaluate. So we won't be doing that part, but it's telling them the thing. Now let's go to our story at the top. Alabama band director tased after football game, says no educator should ever have to experience that. Can you imagine being at a football game and seeing the band director tased 3 different times? Maria said, it's like that somewhat now. Yeah, so very true. And Alicia said, I heard that. Okay. High school band director Johnny Mims and his attorney, Wandalin Given, or is that Givan, appear on CNN this morning. So this article is from CNN, and it is Lauren Mascarenhas, Melissa Alonso. She did this article September 22nd, 2023. And here we go. The Alabama band director, who was shocked by a police stun gun and arrested after refusing to stop his band's performance at a high school football game, said the post-game songs had been arranged ahead of time and the whole experience has left him traumatized. I should have never been tased. It was excessive, Johnny Mims said. The minor high school band director said in a news conference Tuesday, no educator should ever have to experience that. And this is what we won't pay them any money, but we'll tase them for doing their job. Do that make sense to anybody? I just need somebody to tell me if that makes sense to anybody. Mims said he is most concerned for the students who had to witness the incident, saying they are the most important thing in this situation. And Frederick Douglass has a saying, and I took a picture of that saying. It's a quote. And Frederick Douglass said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. So can you imagine breaking children at that age? Yes, so Alicia, traumatizing. So how do they get to grow to be strong if this is what they have to witness, on the football field and the safe environment, listening to the bands that everybody loved. And I'm sure they had family members or friends in that band doing what they do, showing off. That's what bands do. Okay? It's heartbreaking. It's traumatizing. It's difficult, he said. There's no way to explain how I'm doing because I know that my students are hurting. After the incident, Mim was taken to the University of Alabama at Birmingham Hospital and then to the Birmingham City Jail, where he was booked and later bonded out. Officers obtained arrest warrants for disorderly conduct, harassment, and resisting arrest, police said. Mm, mm, mm. Uh, so Alicia said, what a powerful statement. Maria said, another from buck breaking. Yes, Maria, yes. And so Alicia said, Maria, yep. Regardless of how this may have started, there is nothing that happened that would have warranted my client being tased multiple times, even while on the ground like some total criminal at that point in front of 145 students. Mim's attorney, Wandalin Givan, said Tuesday on CNN this morning. Those kids were traumatized. Now, we all say we love the children and we all for the children, and people should actually be in droves finding out ways to support this band director, those students, and flooding their legislatures with letters and phone calls and emails. But unfortunately, we talk a good game, but we don't follow through. And normally we won't do anything unless it happened to our baby. And then that's when it becomes priority and nothing can stop us. Mims said he and the band director from P.D. Jackson Olin High School, where the football game took place, had agreed to continue playing music after the game ended. The director from Jackson Olin High School came over to set up a coordination of playing a few tunes after the game, Mims said, adding that they settled on playing 3 songs. I was not trying to be defiant to the police department, said Mims. I was just trying to do my job, which was previously established before the end of the game. And what's so sad about it, they were trying to get the people to leave, but it wasn't like they had a big traumatic event where everybody was fighting. CNN has reached out to Jackson Olin High School for comment. Attorneys representing Mims are requesting all charges against him be dropped and for the officers involved to be placed on administrative leave. The Birmingham Police Department released body cam video of the encounter that shows Mims being tased as people nearby scream. And Maria said they never stopped tasing him. So Alicia said they tried to dehumanize him. Most definitely. It was looking to see if he I'm trying to see what you said, but I made this bigger. I want to make it smaller so I can read the page. That's all I'm trying to do is push this over some. But it keeps making it bigger. And I don't want to do that. La-la-la-dee. So it doesn't want to go over. It doesn't want to act right. That's all I can say. It doesn't want to act right. There you go. There you go. It's acting right now. Okay. So the Alabama band director who was shot by the police. Oh, I think I done went up too far. We were down here. Okay. The Birmingham Police Department released body cam video of the encounter that shows Mims being tased as people nearby scream. And boy, was it screaming and hollering in that stadium. Maria said she was looking to see if he had a GoFundMe. It's extremely upsetting to me that our students, our children, had to witness that scene. Jefferson County School Superintendent Walton Gonsolin said in a statement Tuesday, nothing is more important than their well being. I don't believe that. Birmingham police allowed the district to review the body cam footage Monday night. Gonsolin said, I am not prepared to discuss specifics on the content of the video. Our district leadership is still reviewing and analyzing the video and related circumstances and will reserve further comment pending completion of that review, he said. Mims has been placed on administrative leave, which Gonsolin said is standard protocol while the district reviews the situation. So I hope he's on administrative leave with pay because that's just awful if he is not. He's been treated like a criminal already. We cannot allow violence to be the way we handle situations. Now, who made that statement? C. Ron Stokes, lead attorney for the Alabama Education Association, the union that represents teachers in the state, said at a Wednesday news conference. The association has called for Mims' return to work. Okay, now I can go along with that. Director's lawyer disputes police account of the incident. The incident began Thursday when officers asked band directors from both schools to stop their performance after a football game at P.D. Jackson Olin High School so people would leave the stadium. Birmingham police spokesperson Truman Fitzgerald previously said in a statement. The home team band stopped playing when asked, but Mims instructed his band to continue performing, the statement said. BPD officers attempted to take the band director into custody for disorderly conduct when a physical altercation ensued between the band director. They always make you the guilty party. We saw the video. Birmingham City School System personnel and BPD officers, the statement said. The arresting officer alleges the band director pushes him during the arrest. The police statement said the arresting officer then subdued the band director with a taser, which ended the physical confrontation. Givan, an attorney for Mims, called the police description of the incident an absolute lie. My client not at one time attempted to assault in any fashion the Birmingham Police Department. That an educator would be tased in front of students by law enforcement is unacceptable. It is excessive, she said, or she added. The Birmingham Police Department referred CNN's request for comment to the office of the city attorney. CNN has reached out to that office for comment. Mims said his band was split up when they were playing, with about 15 students on the track and 130 in the stands. I communicated to officers, hey, we're on the last part of the song, Mims says. There is a coordination that must happen between those two entities of the band. It's not one of those things you just cut the group off. So they don't understand that. Mims said the other high school's entire band was in the stands, making it much easier for the director to get total control of what's going on with the group while they're playing. And at some point, the lights in the stadium were turned off, he added. And I thought that was just insult to injury when they turned the lights off on them as if they were not human and didn't matter. That was very inhumane in my personal opinion. Gavan said she was seeking information about who cut the lights off in the stadium and that they plan to pursue legal action against the police department. We are asking the city of Birmingham to drop all charges against Mr. Mims and to make him whole again, as whole as possible, Gavan said. Mims said Wednesday he is working to regain regular use of his arm after police tased him. I have a great doctor that I've been working with to try help me get regular use of my arm because I was tased in the shoulder as well as the lower torso area. He said, I use my shoulders for, of course, most of the things that I do. Stokes questioned whether responding officers operated in an efficient and safe manner. I would venture to say they didn't, but I'm just one individual, and what do I know? If it was their intent to protect the patrons and the students that were at the football game, why would they turn off the lights when they were still in there? Stokes said. It remains unclear who turned the field lights off. The school district's PD Jackson Olin High School belongs to the Birmingham City Schools, said Wednesday that it is still looking into the matter. Police video shows confrontation. The body cam videos multiple officers telling Mims to end the performance while the band director repeats, Get out of my face. We're fixing to go. This is our last song, Mims then tells the officers. When one officer threatens, You will go to jail, Mims responds with a thumbs up and says, That's cool. Okay, now our lights just blinked out. I'm still here, but the light show just blinked. I almost jumped up. Yeah, I almost got to see old Toothless jump up. So Alicia say, I wonder why they asked them that. Yep. Maria say, Yep, let him work and fire the officer. No, they didn't. Maria say, Yep, facts. 100, 100, 100, 100. Turn off lights. Krista said was on the phone. Oh, okay, with my daughter trying to listen. Okay. I hope your daughter is doing fine. When officer threatens, no, let me see, I got to go back up. The body cam video shows multiple officers telling men to end the performance while the band director repeats, Get out of my face. We're fixing to go. This is our last song, Mims then tells the officers. When one officer threatens, You will go to jail, Mims responds with thumbs up and says, That's cool. The stadium field lights are then turned off and the band concludes its song. When Mims steps off the platform, a struggle ensues. But they were snatching him off the platform. What do they mean when he stepped off? They're like we didn't see the video. Ensues between him and the officers as they appear to try to handcuff him while he yells, Get off me. Okay. And see what they don't understand? This is what I call the Sambo and Gumbo treatment because they used men that looked just like the band director that was treating him like an animal. And in that instance, you can not say, well, that's not discrimination because it's not about discrimination. It's about status and power. Those officers were angry because he didn't bow down when they told him to cut the song. And they've been in school, and some of them may have even been in the band. They know how it works. But how soon we forget. He hit the officer. He got to go to jail. One officer is heard saying, he swing on the officer. Mims is then heard replying, he did not swing on the officer as the struggle continues. Seconds later, an officer uses a taser on Mims, bringing him to the ground as panicked screams are heard from the crowd around him. The video has raised questions about use of police force. This would dare not have happened at a majority white school in the state of Alabama, Gibbons said. But you would dare tase a black man in a black school in the city of Birmingham, which is a majority black city? The Birmingham Police Department's Internal Affairs Division investigates all incidents where an officer uses force during an arrest, a police statement said. And isn't it weird? Why would a band director be getting arrested for directing the band? That's just what's so stupid. And a lot of people think just because the police open their mouths, then you automatic. No, you respect their position, but they don't just get to treat you any kind of way. You have actually rights now. Being who you are, you might want to just do what they say because you might not live through it. We've seen people that did exactly what they said and didn't live through it. So, you don't know which way to go. It's kind of like with YouTube. You don't know which way to go. You try to talk about things that will uplift and help inspire people and, have them wanting to be more enlightened, but, you may get commercials, you may not. So you don't know which way to go. Asatar said, wow, all this over a band playing too long. This is ridiculous. And I agree 100%. Maria said, yep, they were controlling and he wouldn't comply. Krista said, Maria, when they are adults, laugh out loud. Asatar, exactly. Oh, she's back. Okay. Okay, they're investigating. Not allowed as a P.D. Jackson Olin High School is part of district where fifth quarter performances are not allowed. Now, how are they saying that that's not allowed when they already had got together and had already planned that? So now they're trying to say both of the band directors were violating school policy. So now they won't have a job. Where are fifth quarters allowed? Because you know that that's Asiatic thing because the bands are. So that just don't even sound right. But okay, that's what they said. We'll take their word for it. The district said in a statement to CNN Wednesday. Bands are instructed to promptly exit the stadium. This is even more important when games are played on school nights, Birmingham City Schools added. I don't know if y'all still there. Asator said he gets it. The administrator wants to go home. The administration wants to go home. They've had a long day, been on campus since 8 a.m. and it's not 10 p.m. I've been there, but tasing educators in front of students is beyond repeal. The Alabama Police Department don't even need to be there. Where is the school police? Asator. Maria said, Asator, yep. Where was school police? What? Wow. What school night? Football games on Fridays or Saturday night. This is total BS. Isaiah said most of these police officers have anger issues. And that's so true, Isaiah. Yep, as the storm knocked me off again. She's going to see if it connects. We're here. Well, I hope y'all hearing me and seeing me. Let's get the story back to going. I got to bring it back. Let me bring it back to the screen. Child, this storm is really having fun with us. I don't know what's the deal. But baby, it is doing this thing in Dallas, Texas tonight. Thank y'all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, here we are. Ass, I'm sorry for smacking. We at the district said the band director stepped down after a BCS security team member tapped the director on his leg to get his attention. We have further been advised that when Birmingham police officers attempted to arrest the minor band director, the BCS security team member attempted to calm the situation, the district said, adding that school administrators, including the Jackson Olin principal, were present at the game. So as I don't even think they were trying to leave like that. I think that these people was just being indifferent. Mims joined the minor high school band in 2018 after teaching high school band in Florida for about a decade, according to the school's website. And he has a master's degree in music education from Florida State University. So why would he be treated like a vagabond? Is, unfounded, to be real truthful. It is unfounded. So that's that. We're going to move on to our next story, which is very interesting. Now, I saw this story on Roland Martin, and you guys can Google this story. And that's why I want to know, is it an epidemic? Is something going on? Are we trying to, they said if you don't know where you come from, you may end back up at that destination. Are we trying to go backwards instead of going forward? It says, during an interview on Roland Martin Unfiltered, guests Leon Gant and Stephanie Talbert spoke about their Saturday night experience at Dove Cody restaurant in the downtown area. Let me see here. I think I have, let me give credit. This came from the Atlanta Black Stars News. They call the cops on us. Black professionals demand formal apology and refund after being booted from a Florida restaurant so another party could be seated. It was posted by Taylor Ardrey, published on September 20th, 2023. A group of black professionals reportedly was booted from an Orlando, Florida restaurant for not being done with their time at the table when another party reportedly needed seating. Now, these people spent over $600. Leon, okay, that's just a caption under the picture. Leon Gant and Stephanie Talbot told Roland Martin that they were humiliated when they were asked to leave Dove Cody restaurant over the weekend. Roland Martin Unfiltered YouTube screenshot. And Roland Martin, you can go see this interview. It was very good. Talbot said she booked the group's reservation through Open Table to see live entertainment. And remember that key word, live entertainment. So they're going to be eating and they're going to be listening to live music. She noted that they were not informed by the restaurant or staff there was a time limit for the table. They were about an hour and a half into their experience when they reportedly were told to leave. In the video obtained by the show, the group is speaking to officers and explaining that they did nothing wrong. The police advised them to document the incident and reach out to management. The police were very cordial, and they really were nice. They were very nice, Gant told Roland. They even said to us that we will walk out first so that it doesn't seem like we are escorting you out. However, because this is a private organization, we have to leave. In another video posted on X, formerly Twitter, Gant's wife, Heather, posted the moment she walked out of the restaurant. She wrote that the event coordinator told them another party had to be seated. You don't want to stay here. They just kicked us out because we stayed too long. They called the cops on us. She could be heard saying to another couple. The video shows Heather walking outside to a group of police officers. And you can watch the video. It was very humiliating, Talbot said. When we walked out to wait for the valet for the car, there was another family that had been approached by the event coordinator and told that they needed to leave as well. This wasn't something that was just isolated to us. There were some other black families that were impacted. Gant said they are reaching out to attorneys to assist them with the matter. The end result is, I would like a formal apology, number one, he said. I would like our money returned. And that's it. I guess that's the end of that story. Unless I didn't get it all. But the money that they spent, y'all, was actually, believe it or not, they spent $600 that night. Tell the truth, Crystal. I am determined to be here for you all because you all are determined to be here for me. And that means the world to me. So, y'all, what do y'all think about these stories and the atmosphere today's times? You know, what's really going on? What's really happening? You know, we train our children in the way they should go, and we teach them to, you know, get education or a trade, to follow their dreams, to be the best that they can be. We teach them to do all of this only to end up in a suit spending $600 for a meal for 6 people, okay? And now all of a sudden, you're getting the cops called on you and ask you to leave the restaurant, and it's a dine-in music restaurant where you're supposed to be there. They're supposed to really want you to be there, because most of the time when you're finished eating, then you would normally, you know, have a couple of drinks because you're socializing and listening to the music. Greetings, Donkey Green. Good to see you. So it's really, really strange that they would actually kick these people out because they needed to seat other people. And you know, you can't make this stuff up. You really can't. It's so much happening in the world. And I'm going to tell y'all something that really blew my mind. And I would like to know what y'all think about this. Um, Sandra Bland, the girl that was killed in Prairie View, Texas, right outside of Houston, her sister, unbeknownst to me, came to Dallas, joined the police academy, and she just graduated from the police academy. And I don't know how I really feel about that. I kind of have some strange feelings. I can't express what they are, but some, I don't know how she chose Dallas, but she did, because her sister was not in Dallas when any of that happened. But I'm happy that she chose and have successfully completed the academy. But I don't know. It's just something about that give me pause. So I don't know how to explain it. Um, After hearing that, do anybody have any idea or any weird thoughts about that, or is that just me and my little weird mind? Because I thought that was, just that was just something that just took me aback, really. Krista said we need to back to the old way of life. Yeah, it would be good if we do that, but how do we get there? We all have to make the decision and then choose to make it happen. I think the worst thing that has happened to us is that, the breakdown of the family and us allowing them to break the family down. Uh, Phyllis went to the Black Caucus Convention and they were talking about, um, and this was the section of authors, and her goddaughter is an author. She's been on my show, Tiffany Clark, and she wrote a book, Being Different is Unique. And that's a story of an adopted child because she was adopted. And she, grew up in a loving home as an only child, and she was able to go through one of our suburban high schools. And she went the whole gambit. She was a cheerleader. She went on to go to college. She got her undergrad and she went on and got her master's, and then now she has her PhD. And she's worked in a variety of jobs. She's a real go getter. Whatever she sets her mind to, it's going to be done. And she wrote this book, and they were invited to come to the caucus. And so she was able to moderate a couple of things. And they actually had asked Phyllis to come up and speak about, the family and putting the family together. And boy, that is so funny because, Phyllis, she loved to sing like me, but boy, she sounds way worse than me. My son talking about you can't sing either. I told him, boy, I don't care what you say, but I sound good as hell to me. But Phyllis, boy, that was funny. But she sounds like one of them old grandmothers from way back yonder. And I'm gonna let y'all hear her beautiful song because she said that we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. And that's really true. Um, Tiffany took snippets of Phyllis' speech, which was awesome. Phyllis is an excellent speaker, but I got to let y'all hear her sing this song. She ain't gonna let nobody turn her around. And that's just what I gotta let y'all hear. If y'all don't get to hear nothing else that this woman say, y'all got to hear her say this hymn. And I mean this hymn. Cause it was too funny. Give me a moment, y'all. Astor, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to find this little old song. I just looked up and seen what you said. And I don't know why come I can't find it. And I know I sent this to y'all, but I swear, everywhere I'm looking, I don't seem like I see all of them. But I really just wanted to do her song because that was what was funny to me. Okay, give me a second, y'all. Okay, y'all, let me know if y'all can hear this because I'm just going to hit it because she's going to start singing when I hit it. But she's talking about the family and how we should stay together. Yeah, you better, Esther. Here you go, y'all. She ain't going to let nobody turn her around.
Keep on marching up the King's Highway. And those got the words, put your own words in there. Because somebody wrote that song, so I wrote my own song. So what we have to do is bind together. We're talking about love, express love, and show love. Unity, UNITY. Bind together is what? One, one. Just like a marriage. We are no longer twain.
So that was a snippet of her speech. And then this is the last part because she's talking about family and supporting one another.
We'll say 8,000 people. So you see, it's nothing that you can't do when you put your mind to it. And as being raised in a black family, we always is rooted and grounded in Jesus. That's the first thing. The first beginning of the knowledge of fear is to know the Lord. So once you understand that you are not validated by other people, then you what's your next step? It's your family. We have come now where the family is being what? Torn apart by what? Media, telephones. We in the same house and you gotta text me, Mom, bring me a soda. What we having for dinner? Can we come to the table? Let's sit down and talk about it. No, I'm
Okay, that's it, y'all. So what she was telling them is, and what Crystal was saying a moment ago, we need to go back to times of old because there was a time that we as a family, whoever you are as a family unit, everybody sat down at the table and ate together. That was kind of like the, come together and talk about your day type situation. You know, the daddy would wind down and the mom would get to share, her day if she worked or if she was a homemaker, the things that happened throughout the day. And then, of course, we as children, we got an opportunity to tell, if we told it, what happened to us that day. A lot of us don't be telling what be happening through the course of a day in school because it could be many of things. But that was a time when we really spent time talking to one another and not just talking at one another or atting one another like, a text or Instagram or a Facebook post or comment on a YouTube video. We really used to be together as people. And it's unfortunate that we don't have more people are interested in trying to come together and think of ways that we can help one another. It's supposed to be where one is weak, the other is strong, and you can encourage one another to be better or to do different. But it seems like in this world today, it's just all about tearing you down to the lowest common denominator. And that's almost down to your cells, your genes. They take away all humanity and all sensitivity of humanity. So it's really, really sad. But we thought that was an interesting subject to talk about and to showcase something that perhaps we could, you know, remember how we all came together feeling good about doing something, changing something. Isn't it amazing how all of that went away because of things that transpired? Why is it that we as individuals who came together to be a part of something great, why is it that we are not still on that trajectory? It's like because that fell through, everybody who pretended or who were honest and really wanted to do something, it seemed like it has gone by the wayside, which I know people help people in their everyday lives. So I'm not taking anything from the people that were doing things for people before they got here and are yet doing things. But I'm talking about that cohesiveness that we felt and the fun that we thought we were having, just planning on doing something great. Whether we got it done or not, just the idea of coming together and helping others was, I think it was priceless. And it's unfortunate now that we don't even talk about that. And if you dare talk about something other than the mess, then you're only speaking to a few people, because most people say that they don't like the mess and it's too dark and they don't want to be a part of it, but they gravitate to that. And that's human nature within itself. So I understand those dynamics. But I never compete against anybody, so it doesn't matter. I come to do my thing, and I think I'm enough. Whether it's 3 or 18 or 30 or a million, I'm enough. I really am. And I really enjoy what I do. And I'm truly grateful for you all that enjoy what I do, that you would come and spend your time with me. And this rain tried to knock us out and knock us out. But like Crystal said, I'm more determined than that rain to get this message out, because who knows, just this conversation alone could really spark something in somebody, or help somebody see something from a different point of view. And Esther always have great points of views, but again, like I said, he thinks from logic and he doesn't come from any other place. So you don't ever have to wonder where he's coming from, because he's quick witted, direct, and to the point. Never with the intent of hurting your feelings or to your detriment. He actually builds people, and that's what he liked to do. And as quiet and humble as Maria is, she's quick-witted, direct, to the point. Beautiful mind, right? She writes, and I mean, awesome, awesome material. So Alicia, oh, she has that little beautiful soft voice and that beautiful smile, but don't be deceived. Quick-witted, fire right back. But she's grown leaps and bounds. We've seen it in each other. Ryan, excellent father. I mean, I'm so proud of he and Asatar in the way that they actually take out time to be with their children, for real. No telephone. Well, they might dip in these chats, but they ain't, undivided attention. Their time, they don't talk on the phone. They spend time with their young men. and they talk to them and allow them to talk back. They play games together, and that's awesome. So, I wish the more people was interested in just coming together and having conversations about real life issues, because there's so much going on in the world today, and there's so many people suffering. Um, I advocate for people. It's people having real problems on their jobs, and times are very hard right now. Imagine somebody playing with your livelihood as if it's a joke, and you feel you have no recourse. There are so many different things going on in life, and it's just, seems like it's just non-existent for some people. And yeah, we laugh and we joke, and we suffer most of the time alone. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to share my story, for those who suffer, to know that there is joy on the other side of suffering. It really is, when you put you into it and make you priority. It really is joy on the other side. And don't let nobody tell you different. And as Phyllis say, don't let nobody turn you around. Just got to keep on moving, going forward. You got to do that. Did Maria say she was going? I see Isaiah said drive safe. I don't know if Maria's on her way to work or what. But drive safe. Hi, Sherry. Sorry I didn't see you come in. Yeah, y'all, we struggled for this night here. Yeah, we did the thing. We went through the storm and the rain for this one. Krista said, which I cannot understand how some just don't care but partake in bull crap. Me neither, Crystal. It's just, I guess, Earth, Wind, and Fire has a song. That's just the way of the world. A lot of people say things, and that's one of the things that, you have to really watch as you mature as an adult and as you're trying to teach children. And that is the foundation of being consistent and a keeper of your word. A lot of people say that they watch behavior, and I guess they watch other people's behavior and not their own. But we have to be steadfast and immovable, and we have to keep on the path, whatever our path may be. We have to stay on that path and don't take all them detours, because there are a lot of little side streets that you could get caught up, and they may be one way, and you can't come back, to your reality. But as a kid, I took driver's education, and one thing they taught us in driver's ed that I shall never forget, and I share. Okay, to Maria. Yes, as always, safe travels. Okay. In driver's ed, they taught us get the big picture. So you got to see not only what's in front of you, that whole windshield, because it's such a big view, you need to get the big picture of everything that's around you. And then they told us never take it for granted when you're getting ready to switch lanes, because there is a blind spot. And then, they take a finger and tell you to take it all the way right and keep your head straight and take your eyes and go all the way until that hand disappears. In an instant, that's your blind spot in driving. And if I hadn't learned that technique, and that is a technique, that it is a possibility, I could have had a lot of wrecks. And then, some people only rely on their mirrors, but you cannot, because there is a point over your shoulder that's blind, and in an instant it could be a problem if you don't know to do that. So it's funny, the little nuances that some people may think is just stupid, and you don't have. When you learn that at 16, doesn't mean I always drove the speed limit and I always had my hands at 10 and 2. Don't mean that. It just meant that I knew what was the correct way. And when you have knowledge and don't use it, are you any different than the person that don't have knowledge and want to use it? Yeah, you got to use it. And then not only do you have to use it, you got to share it. You got to give it away. You got to help somebody else that's coming after you. We say the children are our future, but are they really? What kind of future are we really leaving the children? These children today, most of them don't know anything about outside activities, and most of the schools, the only way that they're getting the kids away from technology is to mandate when they're in certain grades, they have to be a participant in these sports so that they can assure at least the boys that they are, out running, doing what boys do. All of that is a part of growing up. I don't know what they have mandated for the girls. When we were going to school, they used to have home economics. And then those classes, they used to teach you sewing and cooking. I've never known them to teach you the budget, though. And that's the most important, is learning how to budget and learning the meaning behind the money. Not just having the money, but the purpose and how to make it grow. Those are things that we're not taught. And so we have to take the initiative. And if we learn these things along the way, we learn a lot of good stuff on public jobs because they have a lot of good training and they spend a lot of money. Probably on some classes we could have taught ourselves, but they spend a lot of money. And we have the opportunity to get that training free of charge. And some of us have the ingenuity and the creativeness to take that knowledge and pen it in books, do seminars, motivational speaking. It's amazing some of the ideas that you see people come up with, and they're actually making it work for them. It really is amazing, and it's really good to see. It lets you know, for me, it lets me know that there is hope for whomever. There is hope. Believe it or not, we played our songs in the beginning, but I haven't played many songs. Let me play one or two songs so we can feel like we in the Tiger's Den, because it's kind of strange to have a show where we don't hear one or two of our little songs we like. This one's for you, Maria. See that old man over there in his chair? This old man is living in the bottle. He done quit his 9 to 5. He drink full time, and now he's living in the bottle. Well, see that old man over there in his chair? This old man got a problem, and it's a bad one. Now he done pawned off everything, his old woman wedding ring for the bottle. Well, and don't you think it's a crime when time after time people living in the bottle? These people living in the bottle, y'all. Sometimes in a relationship, be it male or female, we tend to not want to let go. No matter what's going on in our relationship, we just want to hold on. Sometimes we find ourselves singing this song. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. No, 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 no way. No, 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 no way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't want to be free. I'm staying, and you're gonna love me. Ooh, 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 love me. You're gonna love me. And I am telling you, I'm not going, even though the rough times are showing. There's just no way, there's no way. We're part of the same place. We're part of the same time. We both share the same blood. We both have the same mind. And time we've had so much to share. No, 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 no. I'm not waking up tomorrow morning and finding that there's nobody there. Darling, there's no way. No, 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 no way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. You see, there's just no way. There's no way. Tear down the mountains, yell, scream, and shout. Like you can say what you want to. I'm not walking out. Stop all the rivers, push, strike, and kill. I'm not going to leave you. There's no way I will. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. No, 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 no way. No, 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 no way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. Not living without you. I don't want to be free. I'm staying, and you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. Yes, you are. Ooh, ooh, love me. Ooh, 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 love me. Love me. Love me. Love me. You're gonna love me. Y'all, there's some things going on in this country. And it's really, really, really sad. But a lot of people do things for this reason and this reason only. Money, 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 money. Money. Money, 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 money. Some people will sell you out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some people tell jokes of dirt. They don't care who feelings they hurt. I was told from times of old, the game's to be sold and not told. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hang around YouTube and you will find out about that mean, oh mean, mean green, almighty dollar, cash money. Well, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, cash money. People don't let money. Don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, they just keep on scamming and scamming everybody. Check them out, scamming and scamming everybody. I tell y'all, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Money, 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 money. Tell the truth, Pastor Tar. If we would just remember one thing, no matter what we're going through, if we would remember this: no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. You see, Cheryl will do what she said she will do. She will stand by her word and see it through. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. There just ain't one weapon, no. You see, I'm the weapon. And I do what I say I'm going to do. And what did Phyllis' message indicate? After you have everything that you think you want in life, it all boils back down to what? The family. It's a family affair, y'all. Did you know that mental health is a family affair? It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, one child grows up to be somebody that just loves to learn, and another child grows up to be somebody you just love to burn. Mama loves the both of them. You see, it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood thicker than the mud. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Oh, a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Nobody wants to blow. Nobody wants to be left out. You can't leave because your heart is there. But you can't stay 'cause you've been somewhere else. You can't cry 'cause you look broke down, but you're crying anyway 'cause you're all broke down. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, it's a family affair. Hey, hey, hey. And for some of us, she's no longer with us. Some never even knew her. But there was someone that stepped up and played the role of this beautiful, phenomenal matriarch. In a mother's love, you will find everything. Everything's alright. To a mother's love, you are bound. You can rest on sacred ground. You are free to dream because she sees what you can be. There's nothing like it in the world. Sometimes when you feel you can't go on, and if you have the love of a mother, then that's your strength to give you the desire and the will to journey on. Because sometimes it get really hard out here, and you find yourself in situations you cannot even imagine how you got yourselves in. And then there are some things that mama can't help you out of. But the love that she brings and gives takes you back to a place when she was all you knew. And so for those of us that experienced that love, it's a beautiful thing. And for those who did not, it saddens me because there's no other love like it than the love of a mother. And that's why when you meet people, you should meet and greet everybody unawares, as if you're entertaining angels, because you never know. You know, you meet people and they have all these cute little sayings. Some people in your life for a season, some for a reason, some for a lifetime. Unfortunately, you don't know which is which until it presents itself. But if you just enjoy the time that you know somebody, learn something from them, or give them something perhaps that they didn't know, you've done your part no matter how the relationship ends. I think we don't give ourselves enough credit because life beats us so, and we go through so many changes on public jobs, in our own businesses, just here in the metaverse. It can be very confusing and texting sometimes. And sometimes you just want to say, forget it all. But being an adult about it, you have to look at it from more than one angle. And you got to really comprehend and know beyond any doubt who you are. And if you get that foundation in knowing who you are, my favorite line is to thine own self be true. Because if you're true to you, I guarantee you, you'll be true to everybody you meet, whether they like your truth or not. You'll be you. And what better person to be than who you are? Because we're all really uniquely made, wondrously made. And we don't have to run around trying to be anybody other than who we are. We don't have to compete with anybody. Just be the best me I can be. That's my motto for anybody. When you're going through something, always look at the AAA method. And it's my AAA. It's not the one you call when your car is on the side of the road. It's acknowledge you have a problem, accept the problem, and then take action to rid yourself of the problem. And again, one of my favorite scriptures, for as much that lie within you, you do what you can to keep the peace. That's what you find yourself guilty of. Some people call it a bigger person. I call it just being me. Because a lot of people don't view you or see you the way you view and see yourself. And a lot of us don't see ourselves as worthy, and we're actually brilliant. And we are givers. Sometimes just support, sometimes just an ear. And like me, a lot of times, unsolicited advice. I do a lot of that. Actually, I wouldn't want to be any other way. I'm learning to get better, to listen more. Because a lot of times we think people actually are hearing us. But see, people don't hear what you mean, they hear what you say. And Dick Gregory gave me that great line. And Judge Judy, and I love Judge Judy, watching her anyway, she always brings us back to Asatar and psychology and logic. If it doesn't make sense, it isn't true. Now you can grapple with it and wrestle with it. We call it brain wrestling all you want. But if it doesn't make sense, it isn't true. And 9 times out of 10, you know that. I want to remind everybody that I do have memberships, and you can peruse the front page. And if you so desire, you can join the memberships. I pick up new subscribers, and then they're fleeting, then they're gone. But I've really been blessed to stay in this range. And I am a consistent person, and so have my subscribership has been very consistent. Imagine not acquiring more than 60 people in a year. That sounds almost impossible, but that has happened to me. And I can't get angry about it because I'm on twice a week. And sometimes I try to do a video throughout the week. And I'm going to do probably a do-over of one or two of my videos. I was going to re-release the video, but I decided, I might want to just do it over. I'm getting a little savvy. I'm not very good, y'all. I'm not no great editor or anything like that, but I'm getting a little savvy, and I'm learning how to do things a little bit better. And it's such an accomplishment because I hate technology. So when I learn how to do something, I really feel like Dr. Kildare or somebody, like I've really accomplished a hell of a feat. I thank anybody and everybody for any donation that you give. It really helps support the channel. It means a lot to me. But I really enjoy your presence, your interaction, your engagement. You're hitting the like button. If you like, you can share the video. Tell somebody about Toothless. Perhaps they want to hear what she has to say. A lot of my older videos, I have them on members only, and they're at the higher rate because a lot of people play games, and I've never been that type of game player. and I did not understand the concept of YouTubing, but I do today. And I kind of like the way I YouTube. And I'm not against the way anybody YouTube. They do what they need to do to get them through the day. But I would just like to say thank you all for being here for me.
Your face. Just to remove the excess water. Now she's coming This out. Is how you do it. Thank you.
Crystal, that's a great statement you said. People need to stop judging others by their own standards, but by their work. That's so very hard for us to do as human beings. And this is one of my favorite songs of all times. This inspired me to start singing on air. Let me take you back to my elementary school days. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. 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 I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. 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 I didn't do anything to these people. But I'm being bullied anyway. We will stop the bullying. And it starts with me. My new hashtag, not me. Let me see what Asator said about me. Asator said, with Toothless, you need to have at least 5 years. I'm not much better. It's a lot of talking going on. Tell the truth, Asator. I love it. So very true. So very true. But if you all don't have anything else to add about the stories that we talked about tonight, I think I'm going to get ready, like the storm has passed us by. I'm going to get ready to call it a night because I've been up working on some papers for my cousin. And, you know, one thing I hate to see these young men out here struggling and going to work, trying to provide for their families, doing everything they can and everything they know to do with the work ethic that's unmatched. You know, get to work an hour ahead of time, work never absent without asking, you know, just no unexcused absence or anything. And then there is a group of people that, just like you meet in the metaverse, that attack you. And it's almost like people attack you for doing what's right and what's good and what's pure. And other people hate you for doing what's right and what's good and what's pure. But you got to stand your ground and always defend your honor. You don't have to go back and forth with anybody. You just defend your honor and you keep forward with your mission. Because some people come to knock you off your square and to get you away from your mission. But you got to stay steadfast, for real, and unmovable. You have to do that. And forever learning. But you got to learn the knowledge of the truth. It's a must that you do that. Don't take my word for it. As the old folks used to say, just keep living. And time will tell you. Time is too far spent on things that makes no sense. And in the metaverse, they believe if it's not making dollars, it doesn't make sense. But that's not always true. All money ain't good money. And you should never throw good money after bad. It never seems to last. And it doesn't help you be a better person. Everything you need to be the best you that you can be is already within you. You have to tap into you and pull you out. You're in there and you can do it. I guarantee it. It happened for me. If it happened for me, then I know it can happen for anybody. But there are just certain steps you got to take. And if you don't take those steps, then it won't work for you. It just won't. We have to show up for ourselves every single day, whether we feel good or bad. I say feel whatever it is you feel, as long as you don't hurt nobody and allow no one to hurt you. Then you need to go through whatever that is. One of the problems I've seen with people that have drug and alcohol problems is they don't want to face life on life terms. They haven't been taught how to deal with their emotions, and they don't know how to work in and out of them, what to do with feelings. Because when we were growing up, most of the time we weren't allowed to feel. And if we did, we couldn't certainly voice it. And so a lot of people run around with masks on, and they're only fooling themselves because the people that are watching, they can see, and they see you. The question becomes, do you see you? And I ain't gonna even try the man in the mirror again because Ed said I messed that song up so bad. He thought that Michael would be upset if he heard me mess up that song. So I'm not gonna even try it. I said I was gonna listen to it so I can remember the lyrics because I do definitely know the words to the song. But yeah, I messed that song up so bad the last time I tried to just come off the cuff and hum a few bars. Didn't go well. Didn't go well at all. I think Ash was downright insulted. That was funny. That was not my intention, but that's how it turned out. Be that as it may, I think I'm going to get ready to call it a night. It has been a very interesting day, and I think that I am going to. I'm glad the storm is gone, and so Maria, you be looking out because normally when we get the storm, y'all get it coming right on down y'all way. That's what I said. I'm in the middle of a police chase. Oh my! But they ain't chasing me. No, you be careful to stay out the way. Oftentimes, the people that end up getting injured in the police chase is people that don't have nothing to do with the chase. I thought most cities banned police chasings anyway. Yes, Crystal. Maria said she helped you get out the way. Move. Get out the way. Get out the way. Stay out the way. Move. Be careful out there, Asatar. Well, I'm going to leave y'all on that note on my little Beyonce song since she's going all over the country and everybody is Baymatized. I love this little song, and it's indicative of what's happening to me with my numbers. It leaves me speechless. And so I'm going to say good night. I'm getting ready to leave the Tiger's Den, and we're going to go out on Beyonce. Have a beautiful beginning of the week, and hopefully we won't have another storm on Wednesday, and we'll be able to have a straight show. But this turned out pretty good, and I'm kind of excited about it. So thank everybody for returning, and goodbye. YouTube. When I look at the subscribers that I received over the past year, 60 subscribers compared to other content creators. Some started when I started, some came after me. The numbers are not numbering. From what my numbers tell me, I gained 1 subscriber every 6 days. YouTube. You got me. You got me. You've got me, YouTube. You've got me speechless. You've got me. You've got me. You've got me. You've got me speechless. All I can say is yes, yes, yes. All I can say is yes, yes, yes. Whoo.